Okay, here we are now at my desktop, and I'm going to show you how I go about getting the best images that I can that I want to change into an SVG. It really makes a big difference. So the first thing I do is I come to Google, or I go to a free place where I know I can get free images that I'm really legally able to use. But I'm just going to go to Google today to show you this. I'm going to start out by going to puppy. Just type in puppy and hit enter. And notice what comes in here at the top, all kind of information about puppies. But what I want to do first off the bat is just go to images. And once I'm here in images, look at all these really cute puppies I find. But I need to narrow down my selection further. So I'm going to come way over here to where it says tools. Click on that. And then the first thing I'm going to do is I like to come to the type. And the type that I usually like to use is line or clip art. I'm sorry, clip art. Okay, now here when we scroll down here, we'll see clip art of puppies. And you may be thinking, well, all of these are perfect. Look at them, they're really good. But no, you're not done yet. What you have to do now is you have to go to size, and you have to say larger than the largest number that's here. And that's going to give you the best image for print then cut. So let me show you one. Here's a cute little guy right here. I could click on him, and I notice right off the bat that he's a PNG image. And I know that because the background is transparent because of all the little checks behind it. That means it's transparent. So this one, I could not just right click on this one and say copy image and then come to silhouette and paste it, because when I do that, since it's a PNG, it's going to make the background black. Watch. See? That's not at all what we want, so I'm going to delete that. Now, if I want this puppy to make into an SVG, I would come back again to this. I would right-click on him and say Save Image As. Then I would save him as the free black and white puppy. I think that's what he was called right there in my downloads. And I would just save it. And now when I come, notice it comes down here, it says free black and white puppy. It's a PNG file, and we know that because of the transparency behind him. I'm going to come back over here again to Silhouette Business Edition. I'm using the Business Edition so that I can use the files that I save for my Cricut machine. I'm going to go to File, Merge. And the reason why I'm merging just so that it will come in to the exact same place, the exact same page that I'm working on. So it's going to merge right into that page right now. Here he is right down here. And I'm going to open. And now look how he comes in without that black background. But I want you to further notice something else about him. Let me use this little bug tool up here, I call it, and scroll in largely. Look how nice and smooth these lines are. This would be a perfect one for tracing. So let me use this tool and go back out to fit to window. Kind of fits. And let me trace him and show you. So if I come over here to the trace tool, which looks like a piece of toast, and click on that, that opens the trace panel. Select the trace area, and I just draw a box around him. That looks pretty good. I could take the threshold down just a little bit if I want to. But I want to show you something. What I'm watching for, look at this little spot right here by his eye. You see this? It's almost an opening. If I go down further, well, I guess he's such a good trace that I'm not going to have a problem. But sometimes you'll get little holes in your trace, and you don't want those if you can help it. So you might want to move your threshold up a little bit. So I would just say trace now, and I'll zoom back to fit the screen. There's the part I don't want, and this is the guy I want. So all I have to do for him now to trace him is to turn the dark part, or the outside part, black, but I don't want to turn it black right now because I won't be able to see the rest of the things. But you know what? Since there are just two colors, it doesn't matter. So watch, I'm going to turn this to black, and that's him right there. I can turn off this red line because it won't show up anyway. So let's see. This was my original. This is the one I just made. If I come up here to Objects, Release Compound Path, what that's going to do is going to put those pieces into two separate areas. So what that's going to do is I'm going to have the black backing, and then I can change this actually to white. And I'm going to Object, make a compound path, and I can bring this back behind, and that's it. That's perfect. So what I have here are two pieces of vinyl. Maybe I should make the white one actually a gray so you can see it a little bit. When I send this to my Cricut machine or my Cameo, it's going to cut out the gray just like this, and the black just like this, and we're done creating that SVG. This one was very easy. This was a good image to use. And of course, if I wanted to use it for my Cricut machine, I would go to File, Save As, and save it as an SVG. Okay, let's go find another one and see if we can find one that's not that good, because he was a really good image. Let's change this size to medium. And let's go down here and find a different puppy. So what I'm looking for is one so I can demonstrate to you that is not a large image, doesn't have a high resolution. This one looks pretty good actually. So right now these ones that I'm finding look pretty good. Oh, he's got a watermark on him. Sometimes there are some really small ones that have like see, this one is 840 by 561. That's still pretty big. Sometimes you might find one that's like 300 and something, or 150 or something like that. See, these are all pretty large. So these should work really well. But trust me, you will find some that don't. Maybe I should pick a different topic. Oh, look how cute that is. Let's just try this one just for fun because he's so cute. So I'm going to click on him first. Notice again, he's a PNG. So I cannot just right click on him and say save or copy image and then open him in Silhouette. Because he's a PNG, I'm going to have that black behind him, which I don't want, right? So I'm going to delete that by hitting delete on my keyboard. And I'm going to go back to that image, and I'm going to right click on it and say save image as, and I'm going to save it. Well, right here it says puppy 17. I'll just leave it like that and say save. Now I'm going to come over to Silhouette. I'm going to go to File, Merge, and I'm going to get puppy 17 again. He should be down here at the bottom. There he is. And let's look at him for a second. Wow, he's coming in awfully small, but you know what? Still, look at the lines on him. Sometimes you'll find lines that are totally jagged messes. Let me show you his lines. These are pretty smooth. A little bit jagged you can start to see, but I think they're still pretty smooth and he will work out pretty well. Let's try a different image. Let's try Kitty. And yeah, hello Kitty. Let's see, for size, I'll just leave it be any size. And let's look for a small one so I can show you. This is a smaller one. Here's a small one. Okay, this one's one that I believe I can right click on. Well, let's go back. I'm going to right click on this one and say copy image. I'm going to bring it into Silhouette and paste. Okay, there she is there. Going to make her larger. And now when you look at her, you can see that she's more blurry than the other ones were. So if I was making her as a print then cut, and I wanted her to be large, she would not be a good option for me to choose. Let me bring in a better one for you. Let's go back here, and let's go back, and let's change the size here to larger than the largest, and see if we can find a Hello Kitty. I need to change this to Hello Kitty. And let's find a large one that will work well. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Here's a large one. I'm going to right-click and copy image, come to Silhouette, right-click and paste. And now I want you to look at the difference between these two images. Even though they're just about the same size, can you see the difference? This one started out as a smaller image that I made larger, and this one started out as a large image. Now, if you were going to print and cut these, this one would be a very nice image printed and cut, and this one would be all fuzzy and blurry. So let's see if it makes a difference when we go ahead to make it into an SVG using Silhouette software. So let's click on the trace tool. Looks like a piece of toast. Select the trace area. That looks really good, so I'm going to say trace. And we have really nice, sharp, crisp lines there. Let's try this one and see what happens. Select the trace area. Oops, I got her whisker a little bit weird. And let's say trace. Move this. Now, you may or may not be able to see the difference in these lines, but I can see it. Let me scroll in for you. Can you see this, how jaggedy it is right here? When your machine goes to cut this, it's going to be going like that. Kind of wiggle, 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 wiggle everywhere, right? This circle, it's going to wiggle around this circle a little bit. That's because the image was not that good. Look down here. See the lines, how it's wiggly? And look at these over here. Perfectly straight. Your machine's going to go zzz. Over here, it's going to go zzz. You know, so that's the difference between getting a good image and getting one that's not good. And the way you get the good one, again, is by the one you choose in the beginning. Let's look. This one that I chose, if you look right here, it shows us that this image is 1,607 pixels by 1,607 pixels. The other one that I had, on the other hand, let's see if I can find it. Oopsie, we got to go back to Kitty. I think it was, what one was it? Oh wait, I still have my large on. Let's get that off. Any size. There we go. It was this one. And then look what size she is, 177 by 232. So that's the difference. When you go to choose your image, you must make sure that you choose the image with the most amount of pixels, the largest number here that you can get, because that will make all the difference in the world in the quality of the product that you make, whether it be print and cut, whether it be vinyl pieces that you're cutting, or even cardstock that you're cutting. You must start with a good image. If you don't, your final project will not be as good as it could be. Let's try one more. Let's go back. And let me ask you, what do you think? Okay, this one's, look at the measurements for this image. 1,440 by 1,304. Do you think that will be a good image to trace or to use, or a bad one? If you said a good one, you're right, because look at that. That's way over 1,000 on both sides. Let's look at another one. How about This one, whoa, that one's really big, 3,000 and something. Oh, do I have the large? I have large selected again. Let me change that so it's not all large, and let's look through here. Okay, this one's okay, it's 500, not the best. What about this one over here? This one is 325 by 400. That one's getting a little bit iffy. If I wanted this one, what I would do is I would keep looking to see if I could find the same image that I wanted with more pixels. This one is only 300 by 300. This one will not work very well. So what you want to do again, and I want to show you one more thing, what you can do up here, I believe they still allow you to do it. When you come up here, there's one more thing you can do. If you come up here to where it says more tools, you can have it where it will show the sizes. So instead of me having to highlight over them or mouse over them, I can see automatically what their sizes are. So I can look at this one and say, nope, no good. Maybe, maybe. Oh yeah, very good. Look at the size of that. Maybe, yes. No. So I'm just looking at the sizes of these images and deciding what I think right off the bat, just by looking at the sizes. And that's what you need to attempt to do also. Get images with good numbers, and your final project will be so much better. Shall we try one more? Let's see. Let's do a bird. Oh, so the first thing I need to do is come up to Tools. Let's pretend like we just came here. I'm going to go to Tools, and I'm going to go to Clip Art is the type. And I'm going to say Show Sizes. So we could just go through here now. This is different kind of clip art. And we could look through here to see what we see that we might be able to use. Like this one right here. Would you think this would be a good one? Look at his size, 180 by 300. Suppose I really liked him. He won't be good. Watch. Let me right-click on him and copy the image, and let me bring him into Silhouette. Get rid of the two Hello Kitties. I'll right-click and paste him here, and he's awfully tiny. One thing that can kind of give you a key too is if you look over here, there's this little warning sign here that says this thing has low resolution and it's going to be grainy or pixelated, which means little boxes, little blocks. Let's make him bigger and see what we see. All right, look at the lines on him. That's really crappy. That will make the worst print and cut image you'll ever see. It'll be a blurry mess. It will not make a good trace. Let's try that. Let me get it fitted to the screen so we can see. And let me try to get it smaller. There we go. Just about fits. All right, let me select the trace area. Pull this out a little bit because I missed a little bit of his tail. And once it's done like that, I could change the threshold if I wanted to see if that could help with that jaggedy lines. Okay, and then just say trace, move him out, and let's just look at these lines and see what they look like. Is your machine going to be happy with you? Probably not. Look at these lines. They're not nice and straight. Those should be very straight. That is because we chose an image that had poor resolution or low resolution. And I'll show you him again. As you notice, he has a resolution of 180 by 300. So let's see, what about this guy? Nope, no good. So we would have to keep going through here to see if we could see something that would work. Or what you could do to save your time. Now here's a cute one. Again, it's too small though, right? So what you could have done though, when you were up here in the tools, in addition to saying show sizes, you also should say larger than for the size, this. And then you won't be tempted to grab one of those things. So let's just say we want to grab this. Let me find one. This guy right here. He's adorable. Look how big he is. Over 2,000 pixels each way. I'm going to right click on him. Oh, I cannot right click on him though, can I? Remember why I cannot right click on him? Because he's a PNG image, and we know that because of the checkered background. If I do right click on him and say copy image, and I come over here to silhouette, right click and paste, it's going to be black in the back, as we know, because it's a PNG file. So let me get rid of these two things and go back again. And this time again, rather than just right clicking and copying him and pasting him into silhouette, I'm going to right click on him and say save image as, and I'm going to save it as parrot bird clip art in my downloads. Save. So now all I have to do is open silhouette, go to file and merge, and again I'm just merging it so I stay in the same work mat. Going to come down here to get him. There he is. Click on him and say OK. And now look how cute he is that he comes in. And let me make him larger, and let me scroll in for you so you can see his lines. Look at those things, how smooth they are. But let me go out. Let me trace him, select the trace area. And there's something else I teach about in my class. It's called select or trace by color. That's another thing that we could do if we wanted to, but I'm not going to teach that here because that's really not what we're learning about today. So I'm just going to trace him like this. And what I want you to notice are the lines. Let's look at the lines. The proof is in the lines. Look at those nice, smooth lines. Your machine is not going to be yelling at you at all. It's going to be so easy for it to cut these. So, last time to remind you, the most important thing that you can do is when you are looking for an image, let's say you're looking for a cow, and you come to Tools, and you can click the type you want. You want clip art. And I suggest you come over here to size. Do not leave it on any size, but change it to larger than the largest number here. And then all of the cows that you're going to get down here are going to have large numbers. And notice that my large numbers show up because why? Yes, because originally where it was up here, I said show sizes under where it said more tools. See, right now I can't see all the sizes unless I mouse over them. But if I say more tools and show sizes, as soon as I scroll down here, the size of every one of these animals shows up. So again, the main things to remember when you're trying to make great print and cut images, or you're trying to get great images that you convert into SVGs are, go to Images, then go to Tools, choose the type of image, and then choose the size and make sure it is the large size. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found this helpful. Please check out my links below and consider joining me in my classes that I have over at patreon.com. I have a class every single week on using the Silhouette software for either your Cricut machine or your Silhouette machine or even your Scan and Cut. So again, the links are below. Thanks again for joining me. Bye, y'all.